And I'm at that point in my life right now, especially after losing daddy, where I'm going balls to the wall. Like, whatever I want, I'm getting.
I never answer to no, man, I still go, 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 go.
Hello, my darlings. It's Dion Dean. Welcome back to another video. You're going to hear some stuff going on behind me. It's my husband looking for his gym clothes. You found them? Yeah. All right. Or his gym shoes, I should say. All right. So we have a lot to talk about today. We're going to do this palette or work with this palette because, let me see, I don't want to like cause a mess on my desk, but I have been wearing, have a good workout. I have been, oh my God, I can't open it. I'm trying to open it without. Okay, so I have been rocking this combination, and I promised that I was going to come back and show you the combination or show you the ways that I'm working with this palette. This is the Matte Bar palette from Maybelline. I will leave a link up here to the video, the first video that I did, and I will leave a link, my Amazon link. Thank you guys for supporting my Amazon links. As I am an Amazon beauty influencer. Thank you for supporting and purchasing this from Amazon. I appreciate it. And I have a little bit of stuff going on. But we've talked about that. Anyway, lots of change going on. So let's get into it. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, because this is a drugstore palette, I have been gingerly, not gingerly, but I've been putting more effort into making sure that it stays on my eyes. Okay, so first we're going to go in with this, and I've been using this a lot too, this Arches and Halos by Tanya Crooks Performance Brow liner, definer, whatever you want to call it. It has been a good match to my Anastasia, so it was a good choice. You know, I was a little scared. People, but it has worked. All right, so first life change. Let's get into it. I have made the decision to close my office, and let's talk about how I came to that decision. I walked into my office one day, and you know, they put like the little notes under your door, and it was a lease renewal, and I looked at the lease renewal, and it said lease renewal for July 2023 through July 2024, and I promise you, everything in me was like, immediately no. Like, I'm not doing this another year. I didn't even know what this was. I was just like, no. I didn't even know what I was saying no to, but I saw the dates, and I was just like, no. So I called my husband, and I was like, they just gave me the lease renewal, and I'm not signing it. Like, I'm not gonna renew the lease. And so he was like, okay, well, do you want to look for another spot, or like, what are you saying? And I was like, I don't know, but I know that, I don't think that brow's going to work out. Hold on, as I'm talking, we'll fix it. I'll show you how I fixed it though. I was just, and that's why you want to do like light strokes so that you don't do what I just did, which is overline, but it's okay. It's just a brow. I think I can fix it. So he asked me, what do you want to do? He's like, what are you saying? And I'm like, I don't know, but I know that this is a no. The option of being in the space is a no. And so I took time out, as I do. You guys know that I'm a huge journaler, and I do believe in meditating and just getting centered. So I just kind of stopped and felt the feelings, whatever I was feeling. And just said a quick prayer, and I'm going to do a video on prayer too, because I think a lot of times we make prayer seem more complicated than it has to be. For me, prayer is just, God, what's going on? That was my prayer, like, God, what's going on? Like, show me my inner thoughts. Like, what is going on? Because on paper, or when I came in today, this is not what I was thinking. I was going to come in here, record some outfit reels, record some content, go about my day. But I get this letter, and immediately it's no, what's going on? And what I have come up with is that I'm just not going to do this for another year. I don't want to be in South Florida another year. I don't want to create content in this way. I don't even know what the this is. And I'm going to talk about that because I think sometimes we want to know everything, right? And we just are supposed to know in part, right? As the Bible says, if you are a follower of Christ, which, you know, I drink a little, but you know, me and Jesus, we like this. So we just need to know in part. So I say that to say sometimes you're going to make a decision and you just know that you're supposed to do something or that you're not supposed to do something, and that's all you're supposed to know. You're not supposed to know the reason why, the reason behind it. Sometimes your no is no and your yes is yes, and that's it. That's all you need to know, and that is fine. I'm learning that because I'm the kind of person, if I want to sift and sit and meditate, and like I said, the first thing I did was I got still, and instead of just moving along, but that's my personality. I'm an academic at heart. Like, I want to research, I want to know what's going on. And I just came to the knowledge that, before this dries, I'm putting on concealer. So it's a Born This Way concealer. I came to the understanding that I don't want to be in South Florida another year. I just don't want to be in South Florida another year. And me signing that lease, let me close this. Me signing that lease, I'm going to put actually a little bit more because we are using the Maybelline. And this is going to be a little longish, get ready with me. But I know that you guys appreciate this content because this is real life, people. So I'm going to put a little bit on the top because we're using Maybelline. We're using a drugstore eyeshadow. And sometimes the pigment is just not as strong. So we just want to do that. And then I'm actually going to go over it a little bit again with some powder. So I know that I don't want to be in South Florida. All right. So then where do I want to be? I don't know. I know that I want to be, what I'm going to do right now, hold on, let me do this before I get to chit-chattering. I know that I want to be somewhere with seasons. I know you're like, Dion, I'm putting on this one right now. Dion, does that mean you're coming back to Chicago? I don't know. No, I do know. I don't think it's going to be Chicago. I love Chicago. I miss Chicago. I miss my friends. But I've always wanted to be in the Northeast. So that could be DC. It could be Philly. It could be New York. It could be Boston. It could be anything up there. But I also want a big Dallas house, right? Big Texas house, not Dallas house. So, you know, my husband and I have thought about Houston. We've thought about going back to Dallas. But again, I've always wanted to be in the Northeast. And I'm at that point in my life right now, especially after losing Daddy, where I'm going balls to the wall. Like, whatever I want, I'm getting. Like, I'm not compromising because I've been through a lot with grief, with becoming mommy's caretaker. We've just gone through a lot, my husband and I. So it's like, I'm not compromising. Like, I'm just not there. I'm just not there. Okay, so I said no, and so now we're in the process of figuring out what the yes is. So today's video is going to be on, I don't even know, I just said I needed to talk to you. I don't even know what the topic is going to be. I just want to give you that life update, that I'm not, and I'm using this color here for those of you that have the palette and want to follow along. I'm using this as a transition shade. I know that I'm not signing. I have not signed. I have declined to sign. I've actually put my notice to move at the office. So we are in the process of clearing the office space and putting everything in storage for right now. One of the things that we've also done, which has been kind of been why I've been a bit quiet on social media because I'm processing this, is that we have started talking to realtors about putting the house up on the market and what that looks like. Now that is terrifying to me. Sorry, I got a phone call. So I'm gonna go into this color right here. I'm gonna use my fingers. Now this palette is not as soft, so I probably shouldn't use my fingers because the more I use my fingers, the more it kind of crumbles. But oh, that pigment is so good. So we have started, and I'm patting it on because again, I'm still learning this palette, and it's not creamy like the Huda ones are creamy, right? Some of the more expensive palettes are creamy, so you can literally just kind of wipe it on, but this one I'm gonna pat on, so I've been doing it gently. All right, so I am processing, you know, when I'm speaking to these realtors, I've never done this before, and I'm saying this to say, if you need help, some of the things that you're going to be sensing in this season, if you're going through this process like me and life is changing and life is evolving. You know, I've never been here before. I've never sold a house. And then this is not just a house. For those of you that don't know, this is the house that we moved to when we moved to this country from England in 1988. This is a family home that I've been entrusted to. So there's a whole lot of guilt that I am letting go of, especially, you know, I feel like, ooh, look at that. I feel like Daddy entrusted me with this house, and I feel with me letting it go, I feel like, I don't even know what I feel like, because I'll say it like my husband said it. He entrusted you with this house, point blank, period. Whatever you do with it, it's really your choice. But at the same time, I want to honor him. I want to honor my mom. And we've talked to mommy about it. She knows how we feel. You know, we moved down. I'm just patting it on. We moved back to South Florida from Chicago when Daddy was diagnosed with stage 5 kidney failure. And because I wanted him to know Riley to know him. Well, it's going on, or it's not going on. We just celebrated the 3-year anniversary of his passing. And I'm just like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm done. And that's the feeling that I'm having right now in South Florida. Like, I'm done. That's the feeling that I had when they wanted me to sign the lease. So when I saw the lease renewal, it was just like, I'm done. I'm good. Like, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. So she knows that. She's heard conversations. You know, she's always said, you know, I don't want to hold you guys back. And, you know, I'm going to wipe it off because I don't want to get any and I typically put some on my cheeks, actually. She's seen how we, or heard how we feel about, you know, being here in South Florida. So she gets it, but still, you know, making the decision to move her from a life that she's known for the last how many years, you know, that's on my brain too. You know, and I'm putting the dark one. I'm going to put the dark one here. I don't think I actually really need it, but I'm going to lightly just go in the outer corner. I don't even think, this brown is not the strongest brown. You can see it a little bit. But that's on my brain too. So I say that to say, you're out here making a decision. You've never been here before. And I'm sensing in my spirit, man. For those of you who are sandwich kids like me, and you're having to make multiple decisions. Oh, because, you know, we got to think about Riley too. Riley is in a top-rated school down here, top-rated public school, but she's still in a top-rated school. And I'm like, are we going to like take her out of school to go somewhere that we've never lived? Like, neither my husband nor I have ever lived in the Northeast. And we're like, oh my gosh, there's guilt there. I've been looking at schools all over. You guys know Jessie, one of my best friends in the DMV. She's had to hear it from me. My best friend in New York has had to hear it from me when it comes to schools. Like, I literally have Jessie looking at Zillow with me like, okay, go look at this house. Go look at this house. But, you know, I'm putting on a blue liner, guys. Hold on. I have to explain what I'm doing. I'm putting on a blue liner because I'm not that big a fan on black liner. I just think it's boring. Like, I used to make like a argument for, I don't need to make an argument for it. I don't like black liner. I feel like it's boring. I feel like when you see somebody with a different color liner, it just looks fun. So I always use a different color eyeliner, if anybody's questioning that. So yeah, I'm rambling, but you guys are here for the ramble. That's what this video is about. So again, you know, the guilt of selling the house and what would Daddy do? The guilt of, you know, moving mommy. She's been here she's been here a great deal of time. Finding a school that I approve of, because, you know, this doctorate in higher education, even though I didn't finish it, I'm ABD, right? But, you know, all this education knowledge, you know, when I look for a school, I look for a school. But, you know, what is that going to be like? What is our family going to be like in the Northeast? Even look, guys, don't judge me. I was looking at puppy schools, okay? My husband's like, you are out of order. Like, what are you doing? I was like, I just want to make sure Maverick is okay. But I say that to say, it's okay not to know. Actually, I should probably put on my mascara before I talk to you guys, because, you know, I can spend a whole lot on mascara. Let me do my mascara and I'll be right back. Hold on. Okay, mascara's on. Okay, so for those of you who are making a decision, what I really want to say is be okay with not knowing. I'm learning that. I can't preach it with oomph because I don't believe it, but I'm walking it out. Um, I'm learning to just have fun, learning about these different cities, learning about the DMV, learning about Philly, learning about Boston, learning about New York. As many times as I've been to New York, you know, going to New York on vacation and visiting New York are two different things. And that's why, listen, your girl is not a subway rider. I've seen too many of these rap videos on social media. I'm not a subway rider, so I don't know how, if we move to New York, how is that exactly going to work? Where actually are we going to live? Because I also don't want to live on an island. Like, if my baby's in school somewhere, I want to be right there. So if we lived in Brooklyn, I gotta work in Brooklyn. If we lived in Queens, I gotta work in Queens. If we lived, I got like, I'm not doing that whole separation by water situation. I need to be able to grab my baby when I need to grab her. Listen, I've watched too many Batman, too many Batman movies. I need to be arm's reach of my baby. So the other part of this now is work, because I have D Creative. I have clients that, and I'm using the Chanel Ultra Latent. Work is gonna be okay. I have D Creative. That is my branding, social media, growing into an agency. It's actually doing really, really well. I'm gonna start going into social media management for some of my clients. That's gonna be okay. But reselling, I don't know how I feel about reselling per se. We've had this conversation. Again, as far as thrifting, let me not say I don't know. I do know. I do know this much. Let me go up into my hairline. I do know this much. I enjoy private label more than thrifting. I enjoy going to different warehouses, meeting with different vendors, finding the flyest, hottest, newest thing, shoe, jewelry, bag, whatever, and bringing it to my live shows, bringing that and creating a posh closet like that. That's what I am enjoying right now in the season. I enjoy thrifting, but I really am enjoying the private label. Again, I'm learning not to have to quantify why. I'm just gonna like what I like and let the chips fall where they may. It just is what it is. The other part of that is I'm a really great educator. So I'm gonna put on my blush as I'm talking. I'm a really great educator. Women out there, do not be afraid to say what you're great at, because I hear some of you thinking like, oh, yeah. Whatever you're great at, say that. I'm a really great cook. I'm a really great chef. I'm a really great mother. I'm a really great wife. I'm a really great accountant. I'm a really great financial planner. I'm a really great hairstylist. I'm a really great whatever. I love style. I enjoy style. I enjoy fashion. Fashion is not like my education is. I've been blessed to put education and fashion together and be a professor, fashion merchandising and retailing professor. Chef's kiss, I love that. But education, like, I'm just a really great educator. I'm really great at breaking down complex terms for people. So I'm feeling like retail, resale, and education, like that's where I'm going. And if you've been paying attention to the Poshmark YouTube community, I'm using my Tom Ford. I am in the midst of deciding if it's going to be a Patreon group or is it going to be a membership site. I really love the concept of the fashion lab, because at each university that I've had the pleasure of teaching at, they've all had a lab of some sort, because again, I'm not fashion, right? So I don't do sewing or design or construction or anything like that, but we do have labs where I teach them merchandising principles, where I teach them visual merchandising and fixtures and things like that. And so we've always had a lab, and so I want to create a lab, but for retail and resale, because it's not just resale for me, right? I'm not just a reseller. We've talked about this. I consider myself a retail entity, right? I've done styling, I've done reselling, I've done style boxes or thrift boxes. And so in my brain, I want to create a place for men and women that want to go into the resale/retail space to learn. So a school of sorts. And so that's going to be launching very soon. And I'll probably do a beta group. If you guys are interested in that, maybe I'll create that and leave a link if you want to be a part of that beta group of men and women that want to just learn the fashion business, because that's my zhuzh. And so again, I don't need to know everything. I just need to know what I like and what I'm good at and follow that. Gone are the days of having to sit down and flesh it out, and grief and took that all away from me, honey. I don't have it. So this is Chai. This is the new Super Matte, Super Stay. This is a Maybelline Super Stay Matte Ink in Chai in color 255. I'm going to leave a link to that again. Thank you guys for supporting my Amazon shop. And so I want to show you guys the color. I really hate that it does this because it just took a lot to come out. So this is the color, Brown Girl Nude. And so I've really been enjoying this color. Isn't that pretty? Very pretty. You know what? I meant to put on a lip liner with it. It's gonna dry down. I'm gonna see if I can put a lip liner on it really quickly. Hold on. Ooh, I should have what you call it, this lip liner. This is MAC Cork. Hold on. It does dry down to a it dries down to a matte. I'm sorry, I already should have put this on first. Isn't that pretty? But yeah, so that's what I'm thinking in terms of the education piece and what I'm going to do for work, right? Because I have a system set up here in South Florida in terms of business. Do I need a gloss? In terms of business with Poshmark and with D Creative. D Creative will be okay. But I want to create an education piece. I just need to not flesh out. I'm going to create an education piece. I'm going to create an education piece. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create an education piece. And I will let you know. I'll let you guys know exactly what that's going to be and what that's going to look like. But it's going to be like a membership program for people who want to be in the fashion business. So whether it's, I think Poshmark, if you have a Poshmark closet and you want it to be a boutique, because the reason why I've stayed away from doing Poshmark tutorial, well, I've done some like tips and tricks, but tutorials, Posh closet reviews, things of that nature, is because I treat my Poshmark closet like a boutique. Like the pieces that I buy, I love. I can't sell something I don't like or I don't love. Like I've tried it, especially when I was in Chicago, because I was selling en masse, right? And we were doing what we needed to do to eat. I did that and it just wasn't me. But what I'm doing now, going to the thrift stores and creating a curated closet, going to the warehouses and getting pieces that I absolutely love that. And so that's what I want to teach people. I want to work with people who want to have an online boutique, whether it's Poshmark or whatever, or brick and mortar. Like that's my jam. So yeah, I'm thinking like a monthly membership, and we have classes and tutorials, and yeah, that's what it's going to be. Anyway, I just wanted to check in with you. I wanted to show you, number one, this palette. So this is what the eyes are looking like, right? Looks really, really nice. This is what the eyes are looking like. This pink is phenomenal. let me open it up. How long is this video? I used that color, this one for the base, that one for the crease, this kind of mixture with the crease, this one on the outer corner, and you guys can see I've been killing this look, and then this pink right there. So it's like a $10 palette. Please use my link. I appreciate it if you do, because I get a small fee, a nominal portion of the sale, I should say. So this, I'm going to leave a link to this. Where did the matte stay, I'm going to leave a link to that. If I can find this, I'm going to leave a link to that. But yeah, I just wanted to just check in, because you guys have been with me, gosh, through Dallas, through Chicago, through moving back here when Daddy was sick, and now we're on the road again. So yeah, so if that's you, I'm with you, and that's why I'm doing this video, because I'm not the only one in the sandwich generation. I'm not the only one here trying to make decisions for your child and for your parent as well, or dealing with the loss of a parent. And so I want to normalize that. I want to normalize the grief process. I want to normalize the thought process. I want to normalize the getting back to yourself. being yourself in the midst of having to make so many of these decisions. I want to normalize that. So I'm just so appreciative of you, and I pray that this has blessed you. I know that this has been kind of like a rambling video, but I promised that I would be transparent with you with all that's going on. And so I know that you see the highs with, you know, the live shows and what I'm doing with D Creative and growing that business, but there's also some inner turmoil and some doubt and some grief and some loss. Like my husband says, it's going to be when this house does sell, it's going to be like the last episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and or the last episode of Martin when he dances through the house. Like, it's really, I don't know what I'm going to feel like, because I've always had this house, like since 1988, since I was like 9-10 years old. I've always had this house. So and I've been doing that too. When I come in, just like breathing it in, like, you know, you're leaving, Dion, so get yourself together. Just the thought. All right, my darlings, let me get ready for my day. If you love this kind of content, please let me know. Please leave a comment below if this is you and this has blessed you, and however we can support each other and pray for each other. Leave a comment below. And then if you're interested in what I'm creating in my mind, I need to put it to paper. I'm going to create it by June 1st. I'm going to give myself a deadline. June 1st, we're going to have an education program for those of you who want to get in the fashion business. Yes, that's what I'm going to call it. Love you guys so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.
I never ran, said no, man, I still go, 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 go.